Hello everyone, today I will talk about gamification, and first of all I will explain the definition of this concept. Gamification is the process when you're transforming typical academic components into gaming themes. It means that this concept of gamification involves all those games and activities that you use when you are trying to motivate your students to continue practicing the language. And in this case, the teachers, they have some tools that they can use in order to motivate their students. For example, they can make competitions, they can create groups. Also, they can provide them some points or some rewards in order to motivate them to continue practicing the language. For that reason, it's very common to see that when you're in a very basic English level, some teachers provide you or give you some candies or chocolates in order to motivate you to continue practicing the language. And also they create these kind of activities that are very useful, or these kind of games that are very useful in order to practice or to understand better a topic that it was difficult for the students. With this tool, you can practice a lot of things. You can practice vocabulary, you can practice difficult topics, you can practice grammar structures, you can improve your skills in speaking, reading, writing, and you can do a lot of things using this tool. For that reason, it's very important to know which kind of activities you're going to develop in class. Because something that is essential to mention, it is that every single activity that you develop in class it has to follow an objective, because you cannot develop an activity without following an objective, because that activity will be something like a time killer, because it doesn't provide you some result, or it doesn't improve something in your students. So for that reason, it is important that every single activity that you develop in your class has to follow an objective. Right now, what I will do is to mention some examples and also some elements that a game should have to make it more interesting for students. And the first one, it is obstacles. It is very common to see that most of the games uh, that have obstacles are more interesting than others, because the student or the person who is playing that game, it has to overcome more obstacles, or it has more challenges that they have to overcome. So for that reason, it's very interesting for them. An example of this game, it could be Guess Who. Guess Who is a game that you can develop it in pairs or in group, and what they have to do is to guess the character that they have in their forehead. So in this case, what they have to do is to ask a lot of questions, and for that reason, it could be very challenging for them. But with this game, they can practice a lot of things. They can practice pronunciation, they can practice WA questions, and they can practice yes or no question, and also a lot of vocabulary. And the second one is action. A game has to have action, because when a game has action, it could be more interesting for the students. For example, when you playing a game related with mimics or with no verbal communication, imagine that you need to explain something with your body or with your gestures. It is more fun and interesting for the students. So for that reason, mimics or these kind of games that the teacher they used to use, that you need to run to the whiteboard and you need to write a phrase or a word, and then the teacher will check if the word is correct or not. It's very useful because you're moving your body, and also you're creating like a competition between the teams, and you're providing them some points. So for that reason, it's important that you have action in your games. Also, and the last one is the progress visibility. The students need to see that they are learning and that they are having results. So for that reason, it's essential that they have some points, or that they receive some points. And for that reason, some digital resources like Kahoot, it could be a really nice option to get that result. And that's all for me, and thank you very much.